From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football. The Hampton Crabbers visiting the Bethel Bruins. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to a cool and comfortable Darling Stadium for tonight's contest between the undefeated, unscored upon Hampton Crabbers at 2-0 and the 1-1 Bethel Bruins. And Bob, we've got the annual tradition. You and I talked about this, by the way. This is our 21st year of doing Hampton and Bethel, so we've probably just about got this one right. But this game is always a good game, or at least it can be a good game, and a lot of times it is. Great rivalry between these two schools.
It really is, and this goes back to 1980 when we did our first ball game. And, of course, you had Coach Kozlowski on the sideline over there, a very strong competitor in everything he does. And that just made a great game for you and I. And when we first did the game, you know, we couldn't hear each other because there was a nice band in front of beating the drums and everything. But we had a great time, and it just evolved from that. And it's nice to do it again. But we have a coach that's a little different than what Coach Koz was and Tracy Parker. And Tracy does a good job, but he's not the same kind of coach that the Koz was. That you didn't know what he was going to do. Tracy pretty well's got it mapped out what he wants to do. And if you've watched his films, you know what they're capable of doing, what they're going to do. You just got to stop them. Look at Mike Smith the same way. He doesn't do a whole lot of changing. He runs about the same planes as he was running back in 1980, but the difference is different names on those numbers, and they're just as good as athletes. What we're going to find tonight, Tim, is a team that turned the ball over 8 times last week. We just could not believe you could turn the ball over 8 times in one ball game, but Bethel did, and ended up getting beat by a surprisingly good Kecoughtan team last week.
Well, I think Kecoughtan's coming on, and of course we'll have Kecoughtan again down the road, but they're starting to come around, and Bethel just can't. No team can turn the ball over 8 times and expect to win a game against any opposition. Now tonight, Hampton, of course, perennial powerhouse. They've had a little difficulty scoring in the last game. Now, I understand it was 2-0 against Denby at halftime. They eventually won 16-0. They beat Kempsville 33 to 0 in their first game. So they've shut out both of their opponents. But I've been told, and this is our first chance to see them, that they're not quite as explosive on offense as they have been in the past. But I have an old adage about Hampton. If you're going to catch Hampton, catch them early. Because as they go through the season, they just get better and better. Not that other teams don't, but they just accelerate their abilities, and Mike Smith is just famous for having his team peak at the right time.
Right, and it's because of his coaching staff. He's got a great coaching staff. But what you're going to find that's different in this team than the team with Ronald Curry and Marcus Higgins is that Carlos Campbell is not as good a passer. He's a good runner. He's elusive. He played wideout for the 2 years that Marcus was quarterback. So now you've got a young man being a quarterback who hasn't played that position for a couple years. But they got a great other quarterback, 6'3", Jimmy Williams, who is real big and strong and can do a real good job at quarterback too. But you're going to see a lot of the shotgun formation. I'm sure with Hampton, where quarterback draws, Campbell keeping the ball a lot. I don't know if they're going to run much option. They did some option with both Curry and Higgins. So a little different look in that they're not as explosive, just like you said.
Well, of course, they have Mac Jones coming back. Yeah. They've got Derek Fenner. They've got a veteran team. They always seem to have that core of veterans that are there to be leaders, and that's another key component. Let's go back in time right now. Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers a little earlier.
I have Mike Smith with me, the Hampton High coach. Mike, first time we've got to see you this year. You've already got a couple games underneath your belt. Got a new team, basically. You got some kids in positions that didn't play last year, but they're learning your system and everything. And I'm talking basically about Carlos playing quarterback for you this year.
Well, he's come along real well. You know, we're not throwing the ball quite as much as we have been in the last 6 years with the 2 guys we had. Yeah. But he's a very capable passer, and Carlos is doing an excellent job. He's handling the team very well, and he's a good athlete. And, of course, Jimmy Williams has played some quarterback also. So we just have to get into the game and see how the flow goes.
Right. Well, now with team, you always seem to have a good core of seniors coming back that really give you team leadership. Again, this year, any difference? I know you got some good seniors on your team.
Well, we do. We have Derek Fenner and Carlos and Mac Jones, Stephen Lee, and some of those guys, Chris Perry. They've been around a while, and I think they're bringing forth good senior leadership. We're still, we're still a young football team experienced, so we're still trying to learn right now.
Well, what the bad thing about it is when you get, you're also winners. I'm talking about. Now you beat the Bethel team tonight, and you and I talked a little bit about their throws the ball well, maybe decisions, but he's got
them last. And they run a lot of empty backfield, throwing the ball quite a bit. Give them plenty of time to throw. We're running back, so they definitely pose a threat.
Good luck on that, Coach.
Thanks, Bob.
Now, let's stay tuned. Up to 10.
Well, the one thing you can be certain of when Hampton is playing in the game, they will be prepared to play. And again, that goes back to that great assistant coaching staff that Mike Smith has.
And he does. He's got just an excellent staff, and we'll talk about that as we get into the broadcast tonight. But one thing that Tracy Parker and the Bethel Bruins are going to have to do, and that is to hang on to the ball. If they can hang on to the ball and keep it out of Hampton's hands, and that means no turnovers or very minimal turnovers, then they might have a chance tonight. Now, people say, well, I've seen Hampton this year, and they haven't looked that good. Well, you have to understand that a couple of games, especially in Denby's, had a touchdown called back. They had some long runs that, as they got down to getting tackled, they lost the ball. So they've turned the ball over, too. So it's going to be interesting tonight to see who can hang on to the ball. Defensively, I got to put the edge to Hampton because Hampton's defense always does well. Shot out to opponents. That tells you right there how good they are.
Well, now, Bethel, on the other hand, now let's talk about Josh Lyles at quarterback. He's coming along. He's got Boyd, who's going to be healthier than he was in the first game we saw him where he carried the ball sparingly. Last week he carried the ball a little more frequently. Hopefully he's near or at 100% tonight. Right. And he has to carry the ball with authority for Bethel to have a chance.
Right, absolutely. And if he does that and can make some runs and get the team pumped up, and you know and I know momentum is a big part of any sporting contest. And if Bethel can get the momentum going early, that may make it a little long night for the Crabbers, but I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. That's why they play the game. We're going to be back in a moment. But right now, we're going to go back in time as Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Tracy Parker of the Bethel Bruins.
I have Tracy Parker with me, the head coach of the Bruins. And Tracy, this is the third week in a row we've had a chance to do the Bruins. We saw you play two different opponents, two different styles. Now you meeting the Hampton Crabbers, a little different look. How do you prepare for the Crabbers?
Well, as far as our preparation, we try to prepare the same for everyone, spend the same amount of time and the same drills, have some continuity.
Okay. Now, when you get your team together, and it has always been a rivalry with Hampton and Bethel. Oh, it goes way back. In fact, our very first game we ever did was the Crabbers and the Bruins. So this is do you find that your team, you don't have to get them up for this game?
Well, we don't have to get them up. It's an understood rivalry, and the kids are up for it.
Good. What have you guys done with your team this week that is a little different than in the past weeks that you're concentrating a little more on? I know you want to hold on to the ball. You don't want to turn the ball over. But what other than that have you worked on this week?
We went home and we really worked on controlling our offense, being more controlled offense and doing things that are within our capabilities.
And hanging on to the ball has got to be one of them. Because if you've got the ball, they can't score usually.
That's right.
Okay. So hopefully he'll work out. Good luck to you tonight, Tracy.
Thank you.
Good enough. Stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Back here at Darling Stadium, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz as the Hampton High School Band has just finished doing the national anthem, and we are just moments away from the meeting at the center of the field. Tonight's contest brought to you by Zooms with 6 convenient locations and in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager.
Well, going out, we have the head man tonight is the young man that John Thompson and the officials that took Richard Rawls' place. As you look at him, Tim, you can read those things off.
Yes, umpire Lee Richardson. Herb Cook is the linesman. Larry Turlington, line judge. Tony Krug is the field judge. And Billy Toller is the back judge. Let's go down to the field.
Just a little bit for me. Okay, we did a pregame toss. The visitors won the toss and they chose to receive, okay? So they won the toss and they chose to receive. You guys are gonna kick from the clock, okay? So you put your backs over here, you put your backs over here for me. Okay, I'll bring them out. Thank you very much.
That's sweet and to the point.
To the point. Did not introduce the officials, but we've given you the names of the guilty. And
well, he said that they don't do that anymore. They don't introduce all the officials like they used to. And I said, well, we will.
That's right. We'll make sure that they're on the record.
Right.
By the way, the field judge is a guy that works with me, Billy Toller.
Well, we won't hold that against him.
Not a bit.
Okay,
He's
Tim, we
man.
will pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight. That player received a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 596-8850. Dave Buckwalter is the owner. Shirt comes from Islander Sporting Goods. They're located in Pocosin, and they can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment plus uniforms. And they have screen printing on premises. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
We have the nearly perfect night for football.
Oh, isn't this beautiful? And again, look at the
Yep.
the sunset and the clouds and everything. This two Friday nights in a row, it's just been beautiful.
Temperature at game time in the low 70s, very little humidity. There is a breeze and it is swirling around, so there really isn't any way to determine for certain at this point which advantage it would give, but I would say that at least for the opening kickoff, it would appear to be at the backs of the Bruins.
Well, they chose that end to defend, so Kenny Clark is the kicker, and we're sorry to say that young Mr. Solomon, Joe Solomon, hurt his, I'm not sure if his ankle or his knee or what, in last week's game was the guy usually kicked off, and let's hope he heals real quick and is back on the field.
All right, Mr. Clark has the ball on the tee, and we are underway. A relatively short kick. In fact, it goes out of bounds, and it will give Hampton the option of taking the ball.
As they get it on the 35 or the 40, I'm not sure which.
I believe it's the, I never can remember that for certain. In any event, here are the offense for Hampton.
Okay, and I will give that to you. We got Tidwell at center, Perry and Williams at guards. The tackles are Godwin and Travis. The split end is Alexander Mann. The flex is number 2, Derek Fenner. The flanker is number 5, Jimmy Williams. Quarterback, number 7, Carlos Campbell. Fullback, our buddy, number 33, Mac Jones. And tailback, number 9, Steve Wyatt.
35-yard line is where Hampton will start. And just a reminder, there are 12-minute quarters in high school football, and we'll try and explain the other rule differences as we go along. Hampton comes out with Carlos Campbell at quarterback, as you mentioned. And Campbell will throw on the first play, and he'll overthrow Derek Fenner, and almost picked off by the aforementioned Clark, number 25.
Yeah, and that, sometimes when you're throwing that ball, Tim, you got a little breeze, you put a little more into it than you normally do, and it just kind of flew out of his hand a little high. And if you look down on the sideline, number 5, Jimmy Williams, was streaking down the sideline. Nobody picked him up. So that'll be something that I'm sure the coaching staff will pick up. Well, again, we got
double wides to the near side. We've got Williams along with Fenner to the near side. Campbell at play action. Wants to throw. This time completes it to Fenner at midfield, and he's down to the Bethel 47-yard line. Let me give you the Bethel Bruins on defense when we get the chance. Here we go. The guards are Hairston and Holloway. Watson and Ellis are the tackles. The ends are Perry and Siles. Jordan and Wood are the linebackers. The corners are Whitehurst, Bates, and Kenny Clark.
Well, Bates is actually the safety tonight.
First down for the Hampton Crabbers, just inside the Bethel 47-yard line.
I see what Mike's trying to do is get some confidence for Carlos Campbell throwing the ball, Tim, coming right out and throwing it. Of course, that'll open up your draw and your running play. And this young man is very exciting, number 9 there.
Stephen Wyatt.
Yes.
We saw Stephen last year.
Yeah, and he has really impressed some of the people that I have talked to that's seen Hampton this week. Watch the replay. Young man, 5'9", 176, just a junior.
Great picture tonight.
Isn't it beautiful? I tell you that.
Wonderful.
And the field, as green as you see it up there on the monitor, it's that green. I tell you, you don't have to adjust your color on your set.
And a good crowd on hand tonight, both sides of the field, as there should be. Campbell keeps, and Campbell is down for a loss back at the 49-yard line. Great defensive surge that time, coming in for the stop, number 54 for the Bruins. That's Jonas Watson, and he was on top of Campbell before Campbell had a chance. Watch this. He just broke the block that was attempted on him, and Watson was in the backfield with Campbell for the big loss.
Young man was player of the game last week for us. The young man is real good.
Jonas Watson.
Yes.
So the loss back to the 48-yard line of the Bruins. It brings up third down and about 11. Campbell again on play action, has plenty of time, has a man. That's Fenner again at the 30-yard line, and that'll be enough for first down, but the ball comes loose, and the Bruins apparently have picked up the loose ball.
Are they saying he was down or not?
I'm waiting for that definitive signal. They haven't done that. No, they say it is, in fact, down by contact, no fumble.
If the ground cannot cause a fumble, but look at the hands on Fenner. He had to go up high to get this ball, Tim. Great job to bring it down. See, he was down, and then the ball came popping out. So, good call.
Officials on top of the play. First down for Hampton.
Well, now on this side of the field, Bruins are not real tickled about that play, that call.
The Bruin faithful did not agree with that call. You're absolutely right. This time, the ball carrier for the Crabbers is number 8. That is
Alvin Banks.
Alvin Banks.
Yeah, another junior, Tim, 5'10", 180. Alvis Mann told me, he says, we have some running backs that are just excellent, and you don't lose anything when you have to bring another one in.
So far, Hampton has used Banks, Jones, and, of course, Wyatt.
Well, that number is a 44, Tim. That's Darylin Fenner, Eric's brother. He's just a sophomore, 6', 182. Big kid.
And another first down for Hampton. Bob Killen to my left will have to expand his score sheet to get all these running backs down there.
Yes, he will.
First down, up the middle. This is Mac Jones carrying for the first time. He gets the ball just inside the 20, so that's a gain of 3.
That's a trap that they use with the fullback. Just one little message to Eddie Williams, who's the track coach over at Bethel High School. He needs to call Ron Baton. Ron Baton's been trying to get him, and so we're telling Eddie, watch this game, give Mr. Baton a call.
There was the replay of the Mac Jones carry. Called Joe to call home. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Hampton marching down the field. Campbell keeps on the option. He's got the ball. He's inside the 15, still going.
He's going all the way, Tim.
He'll score from 20.
Did you see that nice move he made in the cutback?
Well, Mr. Campbell was the X factor when he first came in as a sophomore, one of the things we called him. And now, of course, he's not the X factor anymore. He's the quarterback factor. Here he comes. Nice, nifty moves here.
He really did. Now, he's right here's the option, and he just cut right inside, gets ready to tackle right there, and then just nowhere to go. They were just seal blocks all along the way.
Ball mishandled on the extra try and will be no good. So Hampton will not be able to add the point after. And we've reached the 7:38 mark of the first period, and it's Hampton 6 and Bethel nothing.
If you'll notice on the field, Tim, we only have one mobile cable technician down there tonight. Asia Carroll is she's out as a one of her trips. I think she's at Seton Hall. I'm not sure. She's on one of her recruiting trips. And young lady can run some track and play some basketball. So we'll miss her tonight, but it's a good place for her to be.
Well, Hampton almost coughed the ball up, and as you said, Bob, in our opening comments, we did not see the game, or I did not see the game at least, but Hampton apparently lost the ball a couple of times against Denby in that 16-0 defeat last Friday night. So, Mike Smith isn't going to stand for that, and they'll keep working on that until they
get it right.
They'll get it right. But Hampton used an arsenal to go down the field that time. Kick is taken at the 11-yard line. Brought out to the 24-yard line. Nice return on that play by Curfew Spate. And we need to apologize for, or at least I will, for my mispronunciation of his name. There's the Bruins on offense. They have the center, Davis. The guards are Hairston and Adams. The tackles are Adams and Waterton. Vines is, well, I got another guard there. Got three, let's see, we got them a little out of order.
Just out of order.
All right, Lito is the tight end, split in his Banks. Spate is the wide out, the fullback Holloway. Boyd is the tailback, and Josh Lyles, number 11, is your starting quarterback.
Well, they called timeout so you could get through there. Wasn't that nice?
Well, I wish they'd let me know. Just a little notice there would be nice.
No flag.
We don't know what the terminology for that is. Still working on that. TV timeout, that's what it is. For Tim to get the lineup in. Boy, do we have power. Lyles back to pass. Got a man open at the 30-yard line and goes out of bounds just short of the 30.
Big kid, number 84, make the
that
talk.
Was Mike Lito.
I'll give you the Hampton defense. We got the guards, Williams and Green. The tackles are Johnson and Perry. The ends are Gray and James Williams. The linebackers, Mac Jones and Stephen Lee. Corners are Joe Smith and Derek Fenner. And the safety is Carlos Campbell. Get a chance here, I'll give you the coaching staffs.
Pick up a 5 on that last play. Flag down on this play as Boyd gets enough for the first down, but the flag in the backfield will determine whether or not that will stand.
And it's illegal shift. Preliminary call there.
Right, but I tell you, and that was the other thing the Bruins were guilty of last week. Not only did they turn the ball over 8 times, but they also committed so many penalties at key times. And here's a good example of that. They've got a first down.
Nice run. Too bad.
Boyd finally looking like he's completely recovered from his injury.
Really. Well, I didn't hear it. Maybe they heard it.
And in the event, illegal shift was the call. And instead of a first down, the Bruins will look at second down and a little more than 10. Clock moving with 7:10 left in a scoreless, not scoreless, but rather Hampton leading 6-0 here. And Boyd finds something again on that right side and picks up almost 6.
We'll give you the coaches for the Bruins. Tracy Parker, of course, is the head coach. Creighton Incremenius, Michael Brown, Michael Corey, Gary Singleton, Devon Hill, Jonathan Dean, Stephen Elliott, Jerry Jenkins, Levi Kona. I'm killing his name, I know. Travis Holt, Ernest Banks, and Miguel Incremenius.
3rd down and 5 for the Bruins. And we've got a Hampton Crabber in the backfield of the Bruins. Let's see if he was pulled off or jumped.
Against the Crabbers. Talking about the Crabbers, head coach Mike Smith.
Let's see if we can hear John this time.
We have a dead ball, encroachment, On the defense, first down.
Danny Mitchell, Alvis Mann, Lanny Watkins, Shannon Smith, Brian Gerzak, Tony Carlton, Terry Van, Donald Sullivan, Ray Barnes, and Derek Fenner are the coaches on the Crabber side.
Derek Fenner?
Derek Fenner Sr.
So his son plays
Yes.
on the same team. Very nice.
Both sons.
That's right. Darylyn as well. Darylyn and Derek. Boyd carries for the Bruins, picks up a couple. Hampton marched 80 yards with the opening game possession for their score. Here's Boyd in action here off the right side. Bethel 1-1 on the season, having defeated Norview and then losing to Kickintan. Hampton defeated Kempsville and Denby.
Nobody in the backfield, which you'll see this a lot from the Bruins. But that you're putting a lot of pressure on that 5-man front for the Crabbers, and they just went down before somebody could get open.
Christopher Green in there for the sack. So Lyles loses yardage, brings up third down and a little more than 10. Watch this, he just came through.
And Tim, there was only a 4-man rush for the Crabbers that time. So they put 4 men up, and they're dropping their 2 defensive ends back into the flat.
And Lyles now will take a timeout as he saw something on the field in the defense that he was uncertain of. Let me take a moment while I have this chance to make one more plea for the Bethel High School cheerleading squad, which has achieved many great things in recent years. They're the 4-time district champions, 2-time regional champions, and they were 3rd in the state in '99 and 6th this past winter. Among their accomplishments are 7 cheerleaders who, while attending a camp at North Carolina State this past summer, were chosen as All-American cheerleaders. While this is truly a great honor, they will also have the opportunity to attend the NFL Pro Bowl game in Honolulu, and they'll be able to participate in the halftime show. While they're there, they'll also be eligible to compete for college scholarships, and the trip is also to include a tour of the historic area of the Arizona Memorial. They will be fundraising to earn money to go, and for some, the financial aspect of the trip will determine if they can actually attend the event or not. If you or your business are interested in making a donation to help them fund their trip, you may make that donation to Bethel High School, care of the All-American Fund. I know they'll greatly appreciate any support that you can give them.
And Tim Cole and Bob Hintz has graciously accepted the invitation to be chaperones.
Chaperone, absolutely. I wouldn't even mind paying my own way. And another flag.
Okay, well, that happens. Well, Bunny Brown, who usually sits down here at the front, and I didn't see him, and I saw his friend, and I said, well, where's Bunny tonight? And he said his wife, Betty, had a stroke, but she's doing much better. She's out of the hospital, and that they're up with their son. I think he said in Kiln Creek they're up there with her, but Bunny loves these ball games, and when we come here, he's always down there. So I knew something was up that he wasn't here tonight, so we just hope Betty recovers real quick and everything is doing fine.
Bunny, a fixture here.
All the Hampton games.
As soon as you come in and walk up that area that we do to get out of the press box, he's always sitting there, and we're sorry to hear about his wife and hope for a speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
Swing pass to the near side is incomplete.
Talking about a speedy recovery, our one of our crew members, our main man there with the engineering, Don Charaus, found out tonight is going to have a quadruple heart bypass. He was here tonight. He will find out the end of this month when it'll happen, and he'll probably be out about 4 or 5 weeks. And we hope him a speedy recovery, and all our prayers go with him.
Absolutely. Lyles back to punt. End over end taken by Campbell at the 40, 45. And he'll be taken down at about the 48 or 49-yard line. A good play on the special teams for the Bruins that time. That was Asa Cook, number 4, putting the stop on a very difficult person to tackle, Mr. Carlos X-Man Campbell.
He does a good job running that ball, Tim, and that's why they've got him back there running back the punts and the kickoffs is because of his elusiveness. And you made a good point there that excellent defensive job by Asa Cook.
31-yard punt with an 8-yard return for Mr. Campbell. And the Crabbers will take the ball now with 4:44 left in the first period. This is Mac Jones up the middle, and he crosses midfield down to the Bruin 46-yard line. So gain of about 5 yards.
I was over to Hampton first of the week, and Mac came in with had a shirt and pants and all and shoes he was carrying. What are you doing? He bringing his stuff in to get his pictures. I mean, he was looking good.
There you see on the far sideline the coaching staff, Mike Smith in the middle of your picture, talking to the coaches, and again, the Crabber coaching staff nattily attired this evening in their black and white uniform, for lack of a better word. Ball carrier this time is Alvin Banks, and he picks up the first down for the Crabbers inside the Bethel 40-yard line. So the Crabbers using a wealth of running backs tonight. Banks gets the call here on the replay on the delay.
Tim, you could have got through that hole.
Oh,
that was
offensive
a
line
big hole. They're doing a great job, that offensive line.
And always have. Another fresh set of downs for the Crabbers at the Bruin 39. They lead 6-0. Campbell on the option. And Campbell will lose yardage on a nice defensive effort by the Bruins.
Well, that was one time maybe he should have pitched the ball. He had number 88 out there. That's Ross Tate. And just, you get to looking at the space you can run in, and you're sometimes afraid to pitch that ball. But that maybe was one time with the defense sucked in like that he could have pitched it, but
Brandon Jordan, among others, in on the stop. Loss of almost 3 on the play. On the delay, flag down. And a gain of about 5, but a penalty flag thrown in the backfield, and we'll see how this one gets called.
Usually it's going to come out holding where the flag came in.
That's the call. Mac Jones got the carry, but a holding call will negate the gain. We'll bring up a second down and then about 18. We got a good one
on the offense. 10 yards. Repeat, second down.
Got a good one coming up next Friday night, Bob.
Oh, we do that.
Or at least on paper it is.
Well, it's the first chance to get to see the Phoebus Phantoms, but this is the game outside of the crowd of the Hampton group that we do. We got Heritage coming in here who are undefeated. Just blew away a Menchville team last week.
They're manhandling everyone they've played so far, so that should be a good one. Interesting snap of the ball. Campbell is able to get it, and Campbell gets good yardage down to the Bruin 42-yard line.
But he still is a long way from.
Well, it was 2nd and 23. So.
Oh my!
So now it will be a third down and about 14. Here's your replay. See that strange-looking snap from center, just kind of floated up in the air.
You want it to come back a little quicker than that.
Yeah.
You don't want your lineman to beat the ball back to the quarterback.
And when you see that ball kind of float like that, I'm sure Campbell is thinking, oh, my gosh, that ball is in slow motion.
I hope everybody else is.
Yeah, really. We're inside of 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And we've got a penalty flag for delay of game against Hampton. So uncharacteristically, Hampton's shooting themselves in the foot a bit here on this drive, and they'll be backed up 5 more yards. So a holding call, and now
on the offense, 5 yards, remains third down.
Sorry, John, didn't mean to talk over you. 5-yard delay of game penalty.
Tim, he doesn't know you talked over him.
But I don't want to offend him.
Okay.
So they mark it at the Bruin 47.
Well, he's a preacher, and he will forgive you.
There you go. Big bad John. Yeah. Hampton sets with trips to the left, and now confusion out there, and again, uncharacteristically so. Crabbers will have to take a timeout so they can regather their situation here. What you got, Bob?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about Zooms, Tim. Zooms is giving an award to the senior football player on each one of the teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at the school board meeting after the season. We want to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continuing support of WHCS and our student athletes. Right, we got a timeout here. Carlos Campbell walked up to the line of scrimmage. He had 3 people to the right, didn't need him there. Needed one to the left hand, needed one to the right, and said, hey, we got to call timeout here, Tim. Something's wrong. Because if you don't, you're going to have another 5-yard penalty and delay a game. So a smart move, making sure everybody's on the same page.
Still early in the season.
Yeah, it really is, and you got a situation where you want to make sure, the coaching staff want to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you burn a timeout, make sure everything is right. We got you double wide to the near side.
And 3rd and 18. Again, play action. Campbell has had plenty of time. Throws downfield. Got a receiver. Did he catch it? No, they say never had complete control.
That's Alexander Mann, isn't it? Yeah, number 22, yes.
22, Alexander Mann. Another man. We've had more Manns play.
Tim,
this was a nice-looking pass.
Excellent pass,
Let me tell you something. You can talk about Campbell and his perhaps his inefficiencies. Yeah, no, that was real close to being a completion, too.
Yes, it was.
That was officials looked at each other, teamed up, and decided that after, and again, it's all about controlling the ball. And from this angle, we certainly couldn't know. Now, we got a
downfield on the offense. It's refused. 4th down.
So just a real mess, if you will, on this possession. The Crabbers really having their problems. Men downfield, illegal procedure, holding, delay of game, and now they decline that penalty. And Campbell does the punting and gets a nice Hampton roll inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. So Carlos Campbell, and I seem to remember he did do some, although Higgins punted last year too, didn't he?
It seems like the quarterback is also the punter, but he got a good foot in that, nice height on it. No way was there going to be a run back. The only thing they could have done was a fair catch.
33-yard punt with no return. So the Bruins will have the ball for the second time with 1:34 left here in the first quarter. Hampton 6 and Bethel nothing. Hampton scored. If you joined us late, they scored on a 20-yard run by Carlos Campbell after they took the opening kickoff and drove 80 yards. And a poor snap to Lyles, and he'll just be fortunate to keep possession of the ball, and he did so.
Tim, that's what's always scary in that shotgun formation. If the ball floats back like it did for Campbell, and that time not only floated back but didn't get there.
See that?
Well, it actually did get to his hand. So,
but it was off the mark, and you've got about 6 white and red clad Crabbers coming at you. That ball looks like a little golf ball about that time.
You got those red helmets, and that's all you can see.
Really. And now we've got stoppage of play before they get that one underway. So the penalty flags are flying furiously, much like they did last week in the Bethel Kickingham game, and Bruins will be backed up for illegal procedure.
We have a dead ball, false start on the offense, half the distance, remain second down.
John, once again, getting more airtime than you or I.
I told him tonight when he took the game, I said, you did such a good job last week that you were just to the point.
Yeah.
Didn't mess around.
Really like the way he does that.
It's very calm.
Yep. Yeah, almost like he's on Valium or something. Something you can appreciate.
Something I will have next Wednesday before I go in for that MRI. I don't like being in that little coffin.
Here's the replay from the ground level. This is Ananias Boyd, and Boyd picked up a couple of yards. But again, the Bruins, because of the penalties, have put themselves in a real hole here. It's 3rd and 16 in the shadow of their own goalpost, so they've got to be real careful here. You definitely don't want to turn it over at this point in the field. Boyd will get the call, and Boyd will struggle across the 13 to about the 14-yard line, and that'll bring up 4th and long. And we'll look at the kicking game again.
That's defensive end Terry Gray was in on both of those tackles that time, the one that we got to enter the quarter.
That has done it for the quarter. 12 minutes have gone by, and after one, it's Hampton 6 and Bethel nothing. Bob, we were talking last week about our good sponsor, Zooms. Well, on the way home, I did stop by there. I said I was going to.
Well, you had me so hungry, I was looking for Zooms on my way home.
But I had a problem. I had a real dilemma.
Uh-oh, you didn't know whether to get to the pizza or the sub or the chicken or what?
Or the potato wedges or all of the above. That's what I did. That's that's why he's the man.
That's why
I knew how to solve the problem. I just got one of each.
You did just exactly what Scotty would have done. You got one of each.
That's right.
All right.
And got some quality Citgo gas.
I was going to say, fill that car up, ready to go for the weekend.
Got to feed the Camaro. Our good friend Bill. Some things you just can't repeat. But I'm talking about Bill Nettles and all the fine work he does compiling statistics and so forth. Bill happens to be a service director up at Casey Chevrolet, where I took my car this week, and Bill, as always, treated me just wonderfully. I'm a little lighter in the wallet, but he did a good job. Lyles gets a good kick away from Campbell, and goes all the way out of bounds at the 39.5-yard line. So an excellent kick by Josh Lyles under real tough conditions.
Well, yeah, he got a pretty good rush on him, but if you want to make sure that your special teams has a chance, don't kick it to Campbell. Kick it away from him.
47 yards on the punt. Lyles just did a good job. He not only got it distance, but he got it away from Campbell, and Campbell had no chance to field the ball. They mark it right on the 40. So that's where the Crabbers will have it for their third possession, leading 6-0. Pitching to the near side. This is Wyatt, Stephen Wyatt, for about 5.
That was just looked like the little old, what was it, Paul Brown used to run. That's just student body left.
Pitch it out there and let the fleet-footed Wyatt do what he can.
Just pick a hole and go.
They mark it right on the 45, gain of 5, and it makes 2nd and 5. Second quarter just underway. Let's try it to the other side, and this time the Bruin defense says, no, you did that one time, but don't do that again because we're going to be ready, and they were. Let me give credit to the right number. Yeah, that's number 58 for the Bruins in on the stop. That's Terrell. I checked that. Excuse me. That's
Daryl Jones. Yeah, Daryl Jones.
I got to get these glasses fixed. I swear. Well, you know what? I got to put them on. That's what I got to do.
Well,
I knew there was.
It would help.
Well, I've been trying to blow up these lineups, and
you want some dynamite? Now look at my lineup. See how big my lineups are.
Well, I made mine as big as they would to fit in this thing without going to a second page. I just got to get bigger glasses. Campbell pitches at the last second. And Wyatt has the first down all the way down to the Bruin 44-yard line. What a nice run and play. But, boy, you talk about holding the ball till the very last second.
I mean, he was hit and going down and made the pitch.
Right in the hands of Wyatt. Watch this coming right at you.
Watch his camera work. Right here. 2 people on him.
I mean, one could almost have ruled him down, but it was not the case. The official did not blow his whistle, and the play was good. And a first down for Wyatt at the 44 of Bethel. Hampton doing a good job running the ball tonight. This is up the middle, and this is Fenner, Darren Fenner, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a half a yard.
Brandon Jordan, number 51. Wow.
We've called his name. In fact, he was also a...
no, that was his brother.
Oh,
his brother, yeah. Brian
41.
Jordan. Yeah, 41 was a player of the game. Brandon hadn't been one yet.
Okay.
But I tell you, he is looking good out there defensively. They really plugged that hole up.
They gave him about a half a yard. Let's call it 2nd down and 9.
Brandon plays right in the middle, right at the guard.
Campbell play action. Gives to Banks, and Banks is across the Bruin 40 to about the 39-yard line. Alvin Banks gets the call this time. You got Banks at number 8. You got Wyatt number 9. You got 44 Fenner, 33 Mac Jones. So he's using about 4 and then himself. You throw Carlos Campbell and his elusiveness into it. You've got a lot of different people very capable of picking up yardage for the Crabbers. 3rd down and 5 for the Crabbers. Double wideouts to the far side. And a play action. And this one is caught.
Oh, nice catch.
Daryl Fenner again. No, check that. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Man.
That's number 22, man. I apologize for that. I saw one of the twos.
And you thought you were seeing double.
I was seeing double. I just only saw one of his twos.
The ball, he is still throwing the ball high, but they're going up and catching it. But we got a penalty
against Hampton. So again,
have an illegal formation on the offense. 5 yards, remain 3rd down.
So once again, Hampton does not get the 1st down as a result of committing the penalty. So it's 3rd and 10 instead of 1st down. Again, Campbell has the ball, and he throws over. Contact between the two players, and a flag comes down. Could have been called incidental contact, but I think they're going to call defensive pass interference. We'll see how
they got tangled up, but Alexander Mann didn't get a chance to get towards the ball.
Watch the replay. You be the judge. Nope, just didn't quite get that in the frame, but it was close enough. It could have gone either way.
Defensive pass interference. Automatic 1st down, 15 yards.
That's one of the toughest calls to make because you don't know whether the offensive player initiates the contact and so forth. There was definitely contact.
Well, see, they got one official back there, back judge Tim. That's his job. He's watching, so you and I get to see it as it happens.
And that looks like, and I think they're going to rule that as a lateral, and that's exactly right. It was not caught, and because it wasn't a forward pass, it was a live ball. So now the Crabbers will have 2nd down after a loss of about 2. 2nd down, and let's call it 12. Sometimes I've seen that play, and they don't rule it a lateral, and I'm almost sure it is. And,
yeah.
If the ball
it depends on the official. He makes that judgment call and blows that whistle, and it's dead.
Right up the middle, and a new number in there.
Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith. So add one more to your chart.
He looked good. A nice hole there, wasn't it? Watch this. Right up the.
Oh man, talk about making up and he got there quickly too. That was a nice quick move by Joseph Smith. He's a senior. Where they've been hiding him.
Well, Tim called fresh legs.
Yeah. 1st down. Not 1st and goal though. It's 1st down at the 11. And this is Mac Jones getting the carry.
And when Mac carries the ball, he's usually got 2 or 3 Bruins hanging off of him.
Jones picked up about 4. Almost 5, actually. Let's give it 5.
Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty close to 5.
So Mac Jones makes it 2nd down and 5. Hampton 6, Bethel nothing. This game videotaped on the 15th of September, the year 2000. Hope you're enjoying our contest. Been a good one so far. Hampton just leading 6-0, but threatening. Carlos Campbell in trouble, and he'll eat the ball at the 9-yard line. Again, the Bruins had everybody covered, and Campbell had nothing to do but eat the ball.
Nowhere to go. But that was a time where he would have, if he could have just let the center know we're going straight ahead. Both linebackers pulled up in the gaps, and there's nobody over the center. He might have been able to pick up some yardage, but that we see as the play he's calling the signals.
Watch the replay here. You're going to see just a swarm of Bruins. Never really gave him a chance. That was a good defensive effort by Bethel. 3rd down and 8. Crabbers can get a 1st down without scoring, and they won't get close to the 1st down as the Bruin defense stiffens and brings up a 4th down and long. I believe that was Smith again. Yep, number 11, Joseph Smith, the senior. But he just got the ball to the 6-yard line. And here's the play.
Just nowhere for him to go. Number 54 met him right there.
Here it comes.
And that's Jonas Watson.
And he had a little help. I didn't pick up the number of the guy, but this is 4th down. 4th and 5. Big play for Bruins. Campbell has it, looking. He'll keep it, and he will not get the first down, but a penalty flag is down. So hold everything here. We'll wait and see how this penalty goes. This is crucial.
If it's against the
illegal shift, it will be against Hampton, so the Bruins have held. Nice job on defense.
Really.
Watch the replay. Campbell. And just no place to go. Too many
on the offense. Refused. First down, Bethel.
Could be a huge play as Bethel, had they given up that one, it could have been, 12, 13, 14 to nothing if they'd gone for 2. But now the Bruins have new life with the ball at their 4. Still trailing by just 6. We've reached the halfway point of the second period. 6 minutes exactly remaining. Bethel have used one timeout, as has Hampton. This is Boyd, and Ananias Boyd picks up a couple of yards out to about the 7.
Tim, he picked up those yardage on his own because the hole he was supposed to go through was not there, and he just bounced it out to the outside, and that yardage he picked up was because of his ability to kind of move to the outside, just slide outside.
One of the reasons there was no hole there was Stephen Williams,
number 70,
6'2", 320 pounds. Big boy. He's got the middle clogged up again. Boyd tries to get to the outside, and a good driving tackle keeps him at about the 11-yard line. Let's see if I can pick up the
That's
young man.
Derek
That was Derek
Fenner.
Fenner. Yep.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Derek plays both sides of the ball.
Watch this.
And again,
replay.
right, there's nowhere to go. Right there, you're right. Big old number 70.
No, he just stood his ground.
Come there, I'm gonna get you.
Well, I watched because after having said his name and number, I said, well, let me see what happens. And he got blocked, but he stood his ground, and there was nothing there. 3rd down and 4. Boyd staying on the ground, being conservative in their calls.
You got to be now. You can't, as
right.
much as you turned the ball over last week, Bethel doing it 8 times.
I think their calls were perfectly legitimate to do that. Now, you get out to the 20, you can open it up a little bit. But after a great defensive stand, you don't want to cough the ball up, that's for certain.
Right. Don't give the Bruins or the Crabbers another chance down there inside the 10.
Mike Smith having some conversation with players as they come off.
And what we'll see again whether Josh Lyles will kick away from Carlos Campbell.
I would.
He's a good out.
He just barely got that one away. Good high kick field at the 43. Campbell trying to go to the right. Now reverses his field up the middle. Got a Bruin being dragged to about the 36-yard line. Campbell showing good power along with his elusiveness.
Well, you got to take your hat off to the Bruins on special teams, Tim. They went down and did not allow Carlos to get outside. As we watched the replay, he didn't get outside and was able to find a thing. He had to go up the middle. Great job there. Now watch him try to get outside here. Good defense, making him back it up in the middle. And then he did a great job. And number 25 for the for the Bruins, Kenny Clark was hanging on for dear life.
42-yard punt with a 6-yard return. Again, Josh Lyles doing a nice job of punting the ball again here in the first half. Timeout called by the Bruins. That'll be their second. They'll have one timeout remaining.
Talk about our staff, Tim. Talk about our mobile cable technician. Era Towns is down there by herself tonight. We have on instant replay Bev Penn. The cameras, we have Ron Baton on the sidelines, Susan Bowers and Nathaniel Braxton. The engineer coach talked about Don Strauss. I didn't expect him to be here. Andy Foley did a lot of the engineering stuff tonight, and Andy also does graphics and audio. And, of course, the director and Beam Me Up guy, Scotty Bowers.
Did we mention Bev Penn?
Oh, yes. I wouldn't forget, sweetheart.
I just want to make sure. 3:56 left in the first half. A lot of people had expected this one to be rather one-sided, and so far the Bruins have hung tough in there.
They really have, Tim, and we will pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight. And that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. And we want to thank Engraving Inc., Dave Buckwalder, and Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, John Roberts, for their helping us select and recognize a player of the game from each one of these teams tonight.
First down at the Bruin 41-yard line. This is Jones, Big Mac, across the 25 to the 23-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down.
You feel like ought to have on his helmet one of those little bulldogs, you know, on the back trucks.
You would think so.
He gets a head of steam and he just kind of starts running over you.
That's another first down for the Crabbers. Gain of 12 on that play.
Mack is a senior this year. He's 6'1", 241.
Actually, give him 13 to be quite accurate with that one. This is Smith, and Smith showing good speed and elusiveness, and he has a first and goal for Hampton.
He did
inside the 10.
Tim, he did a great job of bouncing off one of the tacklers on the left side of the Bruin defense that time. Watch him and see if we can pick it up.
He's quick, too. Watch this.
Watch this right here. He gets hit there and just bounces and lowers his head and picks up about 3 more yards after he gets double-teamed.
They mark it at the 9, first and goal. By the way, I went down to the field just before the game and walked out to the center, you know, the area between the hash marks, and this field is still in perfect condition. Of course, those of you who watch our broadcast or have attended games here, you know that during the summertime they completely replaced this field, new crown, the whole 9 yards, and this field is just as pristine as it was the first night we were here. There's
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the finest facility in the state of Virginia. Second and goal at the 5. 2:40 and the clock moving here in the first half. Hampton trying to put it in the end zone, leading 6-0. Fenner and Williams to the near side. Fumble on the snap. Campbell picks it up, keeps it, and loses the ball in the end zone. Let's see who comes up with it. So far, no one has been. And now they say touchdown Hampton.
Somebody got the ball. I'm not sure who. Maybe we can see.
Who's got the ball?
I'm not sure who will be credited with the touchdown.
Tim, as soon as that ball crosses the line, it's a touchdown, and the play is basically over.
Well, I don't think that's the case. I don't think Campbell got the touchdown, but in any event, a touchdown has been recorded for Hampton. I know we're supposed to take a tape change here, Scotty. Let's do that right after this PAT, if that's all right. Okay. If your screen goes blank at home, you know what happened.
Going for 2.
Going for 2. All right. Leading 12-0. Campbell, option, and he's in for 2. All right, we're going to return to Darling Stadium for the conclusion of the first half after this brief timeout. Okay, we are back. We're going to show that touchdown and see if we can determine who got the touchdown. Campbell fumbled the snap. And then the ball came loose, and so far no one signaled touchdown until after it was, I think it was 2 or 72. There's number 2
2's right there.
Yeah. I think it was 72. Can you continue to let it roll, Scotty? See, 2 doesn't have the ball, and I think 72 is the one that jumped up and, I don't know. I don't know either. But someone scored the touchdown for Hampton. They gave it to it was a 5-yard run and a fumble recovery in the end zone. Under whatever circumstance, Hampton leads 14-0.
You see who's kicking off? Carlos Campbell.
Well, they got an Aaron Whitehead as listed as their kicker, but that might just be he might not be the primary. So
he does the PATs.
Yep. Campbell hit that one like he hit it with a pitching wedge. And the ball returned to almost the 30-yard line, and that was done so by number 2, Curfew Spate. And I want to apologize to the Spate family. I think we've got the pronunciation correct now.
I think we do too.
And we would appreciate if you can tell us if we've mispronounced your player's name. Let us know.
Especially that coach on the Bethel team. I'm just going to call him by his first name.
There was your replay, and a nice job of returning the kick.
Just call him Levi. Yeah, he knows who he is.
2:15 remaining. Hampton and Bethel. Hampton 14-0. And this one off the hands of Spate and was incomplete, stopping the clock with 2:09 to go.
Well, Tim, that was a pass that should have been caught. Hit him in the hands. Big number 70, Stephen Williams, was putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
You just saw Williams at the last part of that, and he was. There you see him in the middle of your picture. In fact, he fills your picture. Big boy.
And they tell me, Danny Mitchell's told me since the beginning, quick feet.
Well, you know, he played a lot as a underclassman. Back to the action here as Ananias Boyd gets the call for a couple of yards. I need to see. Williams is just a junior. He played as a sophomore last year. I think he was bigger last year. But, you know, I think some of that bulk now is being redistributed in the form of muscle. And he's just a big boy. You know.
Well, him and 195 Chris Green combined to make that tackle that last play.
Boyd, by the way, has 8 carries in the game for 25 yards. He's the only positive yard gainer for the Bruins. Lyles in trouble. Now finds some running room and gets nailed as he reaches the 34-yard line. That was Jimmy Williams, number 5, who stood him up.
And then he got a lot of help, didn't he?
He did.
Lyles picked up maybe a yard or 2.
Now a timeout being called. I think this is Hampton to preserve some time on the clock. Or was there a penalty flag? Here's your replay. No flag on the play. Hampton calls the timeout, and there you saw Lyles as he is racked up.
Whoa. Who got the number of that bus?
Man, they ain't even.
1:10 left. Each team now with 1 timeout remaining here in the first half. Hampton 14, Bethel nothing.
And it is 4th down, so you kind of expect the Bruins are going to punt the ball, but the Crabbers want a chance. I don't know if they're going to go for the block or go for the return.
Again, we will be back here next Friday night, and it will be a dandy if it lives up to the hype. Phoebus will be hosting, as you see our camera position up there, and Mr. Braxton is the gentleman in the middle of your picture. But Phoebus rather, will host Heritage next Friday night, 7:30. Make plans to be here in person. We want to see what potentially could be a real good game. Heritage with an excellent team, and Phoebus has done well as well. This one's caught by Campbell in a crowd, and he will not gain yardage. In fact, he lost a couple from the point where he fielded the ball.
Tim, again, if you could give a group a player of the game, that special team for the Bruins on kick coverage is just they're just bottling up Carlos.
Well, the other factor here is that Lyles is getting great height and hang time and allowing the special team to get down there.
And see, he's part of the special team.
Absolutely. Doing a really good job of keeping that ball high. Because you hit a low liner to Campbell, you might as well just put 6 on the board. He'll eat you up. Campbell still has it, wants to go long. And Fenner, the intended receiver, was well covered on the play, and the ball goes out of bounds, stopping the clock with 52 ticks.
Again, you saw only 1-2. There was 2. That was Alexander Mann, not Fenner.
I got to get my eyes checked again.
I know you think you're seeing double images, but it really is 22.
I thought I said Fenner. I mean,
yeah, you did.
Well, it was a Fenner. I was right.
It was 22.
It was a Fenner. Isn't 22 a Fenner?
No, that's Alexander Mann.
No, that's the problem is I was thinking 22 was a Fenner. 44
is 44 is the other Fenner.
Well, I knew it was a double something. Don't confuse me with facts here.
Oh, so what you do, I got it, is you take Darylin Fenner, number 44, and his brother Derek, number 2, and you divide 2 into 44, you get 22 Alexander Mann.
Well, that'd be silly. That's exactly what you do.
Oh, that's the last time out for the Crabbers.
There you see some of the crowd. Perfect night for being out here.
Man.
Short sleeve crowd. Might be a little cool later on. You might want to pull out the light windbreaker, but it is just a beautiful evening for football, and we're just tickled to death. I know Braxton is. He loves it when it rains on him when he's out there.
Yeah, well, we had today Jack McDonald and our buddy Brent Musgrove and I got to play a little golf, and I know you're envious, but we played. And I asked Brent, I said, you're going to bring your father-in-law, Roy Watson? He said, yes, but we'll probably sit on the Hampton side. And I said, well, wave. I probably won't see you, but go ahead and wave anyway.
Well, Brent's an old Hampton Crabber.
Yep, got to be there.
He and I went to the HHS about the same time.
Gee, I didn't know he was that old.
Or you didn't know I was that old.
I know how old you are.
We went to different schools together. Campbell. This time it is Fenner. I got that one right this time.
Yes, you were.
That was just a single tube. Goes incomplete. 45 seconds left. The way this one's going for the Crabbers, they'll give the ball back to the Bruins for a couple of tries. Bob has bestowed some peanuts on them. These are good, too.
Yeah, I want to eat them, but I'm afraid if I eat them, I'll be chewing on
your microphone
here.
Well, you do the talking. I'll just eat the peanuts.
I noticed that you're talking.
Procedure on the offense. Refused. Third down.
Well, that's, what's what you do when you come out to Darling Stadium on a beautiful Friday night. No, I can't.
Scotty wanted you to wait until halftime. But that 40 seconds on the clock doesn't mean it's 40 seconds in real time, right?
That's right. I could starve between now and then. Campbell, who's had all night, got a man open. He got it. He may score. He will.
Just made a great move after he caught the ball. Stephen Wyatt. Whoa.
64-yard pass. Stephen Wyatt.
Watch this play, Tim.
No penalty flags. Watch, here's your replay. Campbell again, he's just had perfect protection all night. Now watch this, this is individual effort. Well, you didn't quite get a chance to see it, but he outfought 2 defenders to take the ball.
And number 1, Aaron Whitehead, your PAT guy, got his extra point.
So the Crabbers, with just 33 seconds remaining in the half, tack on another one. This one from 64 yards from Campbell to Stephen Wyatt. And this could be the backbreaker for the Bruins. They had done such a good job holding the Crabbers down. But to give up a last-minute score here in the first half could really hurt them. Hampton's starting to get cranked here. I guess, was it uncranked or cranked?
I think they're getting cranked up.
Whitehead.
We're going to come back. JB, number 1. Right here.
Nice crowd on hand for a nice game. Excuse me.
That's that peanut. Sure Killen didn't do something to you on those peanuts?
Now y'all quit picking on me.
If they could only hear Scotty's comments.
Thank goodness. No more peanuts until halftime.
You're going to sit on your hands.
Well, they're just yelling my name here. Can't go to a football game without peanuts. Taken by one of the up men. Ball is loose. Ball's on the ground. And well, was that a
Hampton Crabbers ball?
I saw, I don't know what, I think that's.
No, just the beanbag comes on.
Yep.
Who got the, number 11 got the recovery?
I believe that was Smith that got Oh, that's a big one, too. With plenty of time left, 27 seconds. And Hampton has the ball back at the Bruin 38-yard line. So the offense will come back on the field. Campbell hurries them to the line because the ball has been set for play for a bit of time now. Campbell just spikes the ball to stop the clock. Now the clock starts in high school ball in more certain circumstances. The clock starts on the change of possession, where it used to be it did not start until the ball was snapped. So Hampton had to burn a down, if you will.
Well, you can spike the ball. Well, you're allowed to. They're allowed. It's the same thing in the NFL.
And that's a good question. Bob was asking me, Bob Killen was asking me why that's not called intentional grounding, but they allow that play in college.
Well, they better hurry up. They're going to get a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, pros, college, and high school. Now, high school didn't used to do that, but they allow you now to spike the ball, and they rule that as being illegal play. Now, if you go back to pass and throw it into the ground like that, and you're avoiding a sack, then it's illegal route. Another little pop-up.
Again, it's delay a game. They took too long to get out there and then get the play run.
Well,
we got
procedure.
Illegal procedure, okay.
May have had some movement. So a long time getting that play in may have caused someone
to get a dead ball, snap infraction on the offense. 5 yards, Bruins first down.
Snap infraction. Okay.
Say that 3 times real fast with peanuts in your mouth.
I prefer not to. And now we got another stoppage of play. Official coming over to discuss something with referee Thompson. You want to tell us something?
I think so. Well, I'm not sure.
No, maybe not. He's coming over to talk to the Bethel sideline, so I'm not. Nope, don't know what this was about, but a stoppage. Well, they're putting
26 seconds on the clock.
Clock time, okay.
He wants 26 seconds on the clock.
Reset the clock to 26 seconds.
We got you. And we're working on it. We got 26
minutes.
There you go. This should be a long half. This can take some time sometimes because this clock is really difficult to work with. There you go.
We
All right.
Oh, no. The guy knows what he's doing.
He does. He's a regular. he's not eating any peanuts either.
Well, it's a good thing. You lied because you're now eating them again. You said you weren't going to.
No, I didn't know they were going to score another touchdown.
Oh.
Campbell's got his man wide open at the 20 to the 18-yard line. That'll be a first down. That'll stop the clock while they move the chains with 18 seconds on the clock, and the clock is stopped at this moment. Once they get the chains all set, they'll restart it, but this is advantage to Hampton here to have that first down. There's your replay.
Hey, they can't stand up. How can they stand up? How can they stand up?
You can hear someone from, I think that's Tracy Parker.
Yeah. They went down in a 3-point stance and they came up, which you're not allowed to do.
Without being a procedure penalty, that's correct. Once you go to the 3-point stance, you can't reset.
Hey, we're thunder. We're thunder.
You can hear Tracy Parker. There you see him on your screen. Good coach. He's going to do real well at Bethel. It's hard to replace a legend, you know. That's one of the toughest things in the world.
You got that right. Who's going to replace Bobby Knight?
Someone on Valium, I hope. All right. Campbell has some running room and goes out of bounds at about the 12-yard line, giving the Crabbers the ball with 8 seconds to go. Third down. This will give them 2 plays. And, you know they're going to go toward the end zone. Here's your replay out of the shotgun. Campbell just took what he could and got out of bounds. Mark it at the 12-yard line, 3rd down and 4. But you know they're going to go in the end zone because they completed a pass outside the end zone and the first half's over. A little pop-up snap again, pass thrown behind.
Just behind him, but he was open.
No, that was Alvin Banks, and he was open, but the pass just behind him a bit, and that would have been a miraculous catch. Yeah. So it is 4th down now. The Crabbers, of course, good look. Here's the replay of the play just a moment ago. And he was open, just threw it behind him.
And Tim, that took 5 seconds, so we only have 3. So this will be, unless there's a penalty on the defense, the last play of the first half.
Come on, Jordan.
And Campbell went to a knee, and that kills the ball and the clock with no time remaining. Had a problem with the snap again, and Campbell had to go to one knee to get the ball. And of course, in high school ball, you go to a knee with the ball, it's dead.
That's dead.
All right, we're at halftime, and our score at halftime is Hampton 21 and Bethel nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the 3rd quarter of action after a brief timeout. You see the Hampton Crabbers, who have just returned to the field here at halftime, getting set for the start of the 3rd quarter. Halftime statistics for you, compliments of Bob Killen. Bethel High School rushed the ball 11 times for just 17 yards. Their leading rusher was Ananias Boyd, who had 8 carries for 25 yards, and they were 1 of 3 in the passing department for just 5 yards, no interceptions. Total 22 yards total offense, 1 first down. They fumbled the ball and lost that one, and they were penalized 5 times for a total of 30 yards.
This right here,
Yeah, they rushed the ball 25 times. I keep having this loud noise in my headset.
So who's doing it? But somebody is.
25 times, or 125 yards. Leading rusher was Joe Smith, who had 4 carries for 40 yards. Carlos Campbell passed the ball 9 times, completing 4. Had 1 touchdown, which we mentioned before was a 64-yard pass to Stephen Wyatt. They had 82 yards all totaled. And their total yardage, rushing and passing, 207 yards. So a very productive first half for the Crabbers. They had 11 first downs. They were penalized 4 times for 25 yards, and they fumbled the ball twice and lost it 1 of those 2 times. So 207 yards for the Crabbers, 22 yards for the Bruins. Quite frankly, Bob, this game could be a whole lot worse in the lopsidedness other than 21-0. Bruins had that 1 goal line stand, which prevented at least the score in that case.
And the time ran out as the Crabbers were getting ready to score again at the end of the first half. But you're right. But defensively, I thought the Bruins did a pretty good job. They offensively, the young man, Lyles, Josh Lyles, and Mike Smith mentioned that in the interview, how well he throws the ball. And you got to get some pressure on him, make him run. He's not as elusive a runner as some of the quarterbacks in this league, but he does have a good arm.
The fumble recovery, by the way, the touchdown before the Wyatt pass. There's your basketball player.
Yeah, basketball game of the player of the game shirt. Yes, sir.
The touchdown was scored by Vernon Godwin.
Oh, it wasn't up 72. Okay. Yeah, very good. We appreciate it. There was a gentleman up here asking me if we knew, and I said, I'm not sure. And he said, well, I'll go down the field and find out for you. And obviously he did.
Fumble recovery for the touchdown after the 5-yard run by Carlos Campbell. All right, the Crabbers will kick off to start the second half. This is taken by Spate at the 13. And he is hauled down as he crosses the 30 to about the 31. That'll be where the Bruins will start the second half.
And there was Darnell Allen, number 81, the only tackler that time. Watch the replay here. Nice kickoff.
17-yard return for Mr. Spate. Bruins send double wides to the near side out of the I formation. Lyles on the inside handoff. First time tonight I recall Ryan Holloway carrying the ball as he gets the call here to start the second half.
Tim, I think you're right. I believe that's the first time that he carried the ball. A young man can carry the ball. He's a big fella. He's 6'1", 257. He's a load to bring down if he gets a head of steam.
Picked up 3 for Holloway. 2nd and 7. 21-0 Hampton as we start the third quarter. Hampton scored on their initial possession, a 20-yard run by Carlos Campbell.
Nobody in the backfield.
Just a finger on that ball, I think. It looked like number 60 for the Crabbers coming across. Stephen Lee might have just either gotten a hand on it or at least distracted the receiver enough so that he couldn't catch it.
That looked like it was going to be a completed pass, but you're right, somebody, and I believe you're right, it's Stephen Lee, number 60.
3rd down and 7.
Now, Stephen plays one of those linebackers, Tim, so him along with Mac Jones plays the linebacker. Now, you see Stephen right in the middle of the defensive area there.
Lyles in the grasp, gets the pass away. This will be enough for a first down in Hampton territory.
But you know what was so good about that is the receiver, number 81, came back to the ball, Tim.
Brian Haygood. Nice job by both Lyles and Haygood to hook up on that one. Here's the replay.
Now
and he was being tackled as he got it away.
You see how he came back?
Yep.
He really got distance between him and the defensive back that time, or the cover man, and was able to get the ball and pick up the first down.
18 yards and their second first down.
18 yards in the play and just the second first down of the ball game for the Bruins. This is Boyd, and this is what the good passing will do. It'll set up the run. Boyd cuts it back and looked like for a moment there might be something there, but the pursuit closed quickly.
Well, I'll tell you the reason is Christopher Green was there, and there was no play. If he had gone upfield instead of taking care of his lane assignment, basically right there. Here's number 61, Chris Green.
So a loss on the play of 2.
Looked like to me when Ananias made the turnaround that it was an area he could have cut in, but I thought he had enough speed to get outside.
This is Boyd again, and they just try to power it this time, and they basically get back to the original line of scrimmage. It brings up 3rd and 10 after Boyd picks up 2. Boyd 8 carries for 25 yards in the first half. Still hasn't really gotten untracked. Of course, you play a good team like Hampton. If you can get good yardage rushing, you've done a lot. Boyd still recuperating from that injury that slowed him in the first 2 games of the season. 3rd down and 10. Lyles with good protection this time. Steps in the pocket, throws, completes the pass, and a good job of picking up a first down.
Excellent by Gregory Taylor. Tim, that was almost like a curl comeback pass.
I've got that as Kyle Green, number 80.
You're right. I looked at Crabber roster. Kyle Keene, right?
Kyle Keene. Watch the replay. 12-yard pickup and a 3rd first down of the ball game. Good job of getting the yardage after the catch. He did go backwards at first, and if you're the coach, you go, no. Yes.
Good job.
Again, Lyles wants to pass, gets away from one would-be tackler, now has some running room, and it quickly closes down, and the Crabbers will recover the fumble. Mac Jones pounces on it, and Hampton will get it back.
It looked like number 44 made the tackle. I believe that was Darylin Fenner making the tackle.
So Jones comes up with the loose ball, and the Bruins had things going for them, but good defensive play. Let's see who does the actual tackling here. You're right. That's Fenner on the tackle and Mac Jones on the recovery. So the Crabbers get it at their 36-yard line. The Bruins had been moving it, had picked up a couple of first downs, and coughed it up again.
Those turnovers killed them last week.
On the delay. To midfield, that is Stephen Wyatt showing good speed. He picks up
Was that
14.
number 9? Or almost looked like number 8. They're so
Yeah, believe me.
similar, but you're right. It's 9. I believe that's 9.
Yep, that's number 9. That's Wyatt. Ball marked at midfield. 14-yard gain for Wyatt and a first down for the Crabbers. On the delay. And that's Banks, number 8.
Well, that was Brian Jordan, the first one back there, coming from his linebacker spot. Shot the gap, got in there, and just broke up the timing and any movement in that backfield.
Loss of a little more than a yard on that play. Second down, and let's call it 11. Clock moving, 7:40 remaining in the third.
Darrell Fenner, number 44, is in the backfield.
Quick hitter, and the Bruins have that one read perfectly as they stuffed the middle and nothing happening at all. That one for Fenner, Darrell Fenner.
And stopped by his number 44, Justin Wood, was one of the tacklers in it, but the middle just clogged right up.
So that'll bring up third down. He actually gained a yard, so they are back to the original line of scrimmage, which was midfield. His forward progress gave him a yard. 3rd and 10.
Shotgun formation.
Wyatt in motion to the near side. Campbell wants to throw. He does. He's got a man open, and that is caught by Wyatt at the 15. He's inbounds to the 9-yard line, and now a late flag comes down after the play was dead. That was a fine-looking play on that one. Get some good hands on those receivers. And Campbell, if there's any suspicions of his inability to throw the ball, they've been dispelled pretty much here in this one.
Well, I tell you, he is really throwing the ball. We got a
unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and it looked like
he threw it against. Was it against the Crabbers?
Well, he pointed against the Crabbers, but they haven't. Maybe they were offsetting. Maybe. Well, let's hold everything here. Looks like they're going to. It appeared to be a dead ball foul, and we'll let referee Thompson tell us once they get this sorted out. I think it was against Hampton. Campbell 5 for 10, 123 yards. I think after it was odd because the flag was thrown by the side judge.
We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike foul on the offense, 15 yards, first down.
Well, that is the penalty. So a dead ball foul. The Crabbers.
So that's 1st and goal from the what?
Well, no, they actually have made it to 1st and 10. I'm not sure how that works exactly.
Yeah, if it's dead ball, it would be. Yeah, you're right. I don't understand that because the ball was out of bounds at the 9, 1st and goal, and then you got a dead ball 15-yarder. Well, who am I to say anything?
Well, I just I don't quite understand it. I thought in that circumstance it would be from that point, and it would be, as you said, 15-yard penalty, and it would still be 1st and goal. But that's not how they've ruled it. The first down marker is at the 14-yard line. Loss of 2 on that play, 2nd and a dozen. Banks to the near side, and the flag's down on the play. The ball was snapped and never even handled by Carlos Campbell, but a penalty flag apparently before the play. illegal procedure against Hampton. So Grabbers have chalked up a number of penalties this evening.
And we've got a snap infraction on the offense, 5 yards. Repeat, second down.
So now it's 2nd and 17.
I tell you, as both of these quarterbacks going back into that shotgun formation, and that becomes a
yeah.
What's going to happen there?
6 penalties for 45 yards against the Crabbers. Campbell will give to Banks, and Banks picks up a couple of yards. He's tripped up as he crosses the 30 to the 28. Brian Jordan in on the stop for the Bruins.
One of the linebackers, Brian Jordan and Justin Wood, are the 2 linebackers in that 6-2 for the Tracy Parker's group.
3rd and long for Hampton. 3rd down and 15. Double wideouts to the near side. I got him right this time, my man. There's Mann and Fenner out there, 2 and 22. I can't go too far wrong with those. Got a man wide open and overthrew him. First really poor pass that Campbell has thrown tonight. He's thrown some real good ones. And
yes, he has.
That one was just too long for a wide open Derek Fenner. So the Bruins
just need to put
have forced the 4th down.
Just need to put a little more air underneath that and let him run underneath it. But you're right. That was right. He was wide open.
Looks like the Crabbers will go for it. They've gone to the sidelines, and Campbell comes back. Jimmy Williams will set up to the near side. Man split wide left. Fenner. All right, they've got a stoppage here for a moment. It looks like Mr. Mitchell, young Mr. Mitchell, was in the end zone getting that loose ball. Want to remind everybody that we did tape the band performance, the Bruins band performance at halftime, and we'll be showing that at the conclusion of the game. So please stay tuned for that. We've got substitutions being made, and it looks like we're set to go now. 4th and long. Campbell need to get to the 14-yard line, down by the end zone, batted away. Good defensive play. That was Clark.
Ooh.
Kenny Clark, number 25, along with others. Let's see who else was out there. That was Derek Bales, number 14, was on the defense, and they had another back there, Lorenzo Perry, defending as well. As you watch the replay here, I think. There we go. We'll get a chance to watch this in the corner of the end zone. Campbell again with plenty of time, steps up and throws. But triple coverage over there, and a good job by Kenny Clark to break it up and give the ball back.
If he hadn't got a hand on it, that would have been a touchdown.
So the Bruins will hold for the 2nd time in the game now. They've gotten the ball on downs, and they'll start with good field position from their 28. Lyles, with no one in the backfield, gets good protection. Got a man open, completes the pass to Spate, and Spate has the 1st down with a pickup of 12. Curfew Spate picks up the 1st down. So the Bruins have had some success here in the 3rd quarter moving the ball. Just hurt themselves with that turnover earlier. Just can't give the ball back to the other team. Mark the ball at the 40-yard line. 1st down for Bethel. Inside handoff. I believe that's Holloway.
You see, Tim, he was hit at the line of scrimmage.
Got 5.
He got 5.
That was sheer power and determination on the part of Ryan Holloway to pick up 5 yards.
Big 89 Willis Overton checks into the lineup, one of the big tight ends.
Overton caught that touchdown pass in the game with Norview, if you remember, on a quick pass up the middle for the touchdown.
Well, that was the initial score in that game, I believe, wasn't it?
Yep. 2nd and 5. Flag down. Complete the pass and wrestle down at the 45-yard line, but the pass may be nullified because of the penalty flag. I think we're going to get holding.
I think you're right. Where that flag is thrown, that's normally what you're going to get.
And you get what you guessed you got. Holding. Here's your replay. See if you can pick up the holding call. I think I saw it there. I couldn't pick up the number, and I wouldn't want to.
We have holding
infraction
on the offense, 10 yards. Repeat, second down.
Now, this comes from the point of the infraction, Tim, and you see not at the line of scrimmage, which is almost at the 45, but it's going to be stepped off from about the, about the 42, 41?
Yep. 6 penalties for 40 yards against the Bruins. So each team now has committed 6. Bruins have cut down the turnovers, though. That's been a big factor. And that pass just thrown behind the intended receiver.
Well, Tim, the receiver went down and was coming back, and his feet slipped out from under him. That was Kyle Franklin. I'm sorry, not Kyle Franklin.
No,
that
Derek
was
Banks.
Yeah. No, it was number 11, wasn't it?
7. Derek Banks.
Oh, was? Okay.
11's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Banks was the receiver.
Lyles 4 for 8, 42 yards back.
Josh Lyles in the game, 4 of 8 for 42 yards. 21-0 Hampton. We've got 3:03 remaining in the third quarter. Lyles over the middle, completes the pass. Good stick. Carlos Campbell says, Mr. Overton, you come into my territory. I'm going to let you remember you were here and that I'm here too.
Well, let you catch you, but we're not going to give you any first down, and that just took them to about their original line of scrimmage.
Yep, sure did. So the Bruins will have to kick away. Lyles does the punting as well. 2.5 minutes and the clock moving here in the third quarter. All of the scoring came in the first half. Again, Lyles gets a nice high kick, and Campbell will field it at the 25. Still on his feet, has some room down the sideline. Now cuts it back.
Cuts back.
And he gets back to midfield and then some.
Tim, he ran into some of his own people.
Late flag comes down. Ryan Jordan stops Campbell, but not until Campbell picks up good return yardage. Here's your replay. Got a personal foul on the play as well after the run back, so that'll cost the Bruins 15.
Well, he was at the, what it looked like about the
26.
24.
Personal foul, late hit on the kicking team. First down.
I didn't see a late hit.
I didn't either.
I watched the whole thing. 28-yard return and then tack on 15 more. So what the Bruins didn't need to do was give the Crabbers great field position, but that's what they've done.
Well, they have that, because that's about where they started last time.
Yep. 34-yard line. Right up the middle, Stephen Wyatt. Stephen Wyatt bounces up after gaining, let's see where they mark him. Looks like he got about
what, about 9 yards, isn't it?
Well, I haven't. Oh, yeah, now I see the ball. I couldn't even find the ball at first. All the Bruins were around it. Yeah, picked up 9. So Wyatt having a productive evening, 2nd and 1. One of those great situations you like to be in, because you can waste it down here if you wanted to. Crabbers will instead try to pick up the first down and won't get it. I got to tell you something. The Bruins defense has done a really good job, and Brian Jordan, number 41, was once again in on the stop. You take away, Jordan was actually the second man as Ryan Holloway made the initial stop. But, you take away that 64-yard pass, and you're looking at a 14-0 game. The Bruins have really, except for a couple of plays, have really hung tough.
Yeah.
A real good job. Their defense has just done an outstanding job. This is Joseph Smith getting the call and picks up a couple.
Well, that's all he needed.
Yep, he'll have the first down inside the 25 at the 23. So a fresh set of downs as they'll move the chains with 35 ticks of the clock remaining here in the third quarter. Rapidly moving third quarter. Campbell with Jones and Smith in the backfield. Looks like Campbell's checking off. Bruins show blitz, and they come, and they got him. Nice defensive call by the Bruins. Number 44, Justin Wood, right up the gut. And that will be the final play of the third quarter.
Nobody picked him up.
So this third quarter just zoomed by.
That was a quick
Zoomed right by. Speaking of zooms.
we want to talk about zooms?
Oh,
man, they're giving an award to the senior football player on each of these teams in the Hampton school system who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season. We want to thank David Allen and Zooms for your continued support of WHCS and our student athletes. And Tim, we will give a player of the game plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from Engraving Inc., located at Tab Square, and the shirt comes from Islander Sporting Goods, located in Pocosin.
Well, you know,
It's going to be hard to do.
I just want to say that I'm thinking about who I'm going to think about here for player of the game. I don't think I know. You got all those running backs for Hampton have just done a great job. Smith has impressed me tremendously.
Carlos Campbell's thrown the ball well.
Carlos Campbell's done a great job at quarterback. He's thrown extremely well. Anyone who was questioning his accuracy passing has not seen this side of him, at least.
And you got to look at the line. Chris Green has done a great job. The big guy, Stephen Williams, in there.
That's just the Hampton side. The Bruins, they've got Brian Jordan, 41, has done an excellent job. You got
Brandon Jordan, 51.
Brandon Jordan, 51. Kenny Clark, number 25.
Yeah.
Josh
Spade.
Lyles has done a good job at quarterback.
Spade, Haygood, Holloway.
Well, I'm sorry we have to figure just one player from each team. Campbell got a man open inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. That will be Alexander Mann, number 22. And he'll pick up.
Oh, the sideline official thought it was a first down, and he stopped the clock, and he was,
Yeah, because they had a penalty that had made it.
Well, they threw him for a loss.
Right. That's right. Not a penalty, but a sack. So the ball is marked at the 20, and it'll be third down and 6, almost 7.
Yeah, that's a long 6.
Short 7.
There you go.
Play action. Campbell will be sacked at the 25-yard line. It'll bring up fourth down and a dozen.
Looked like 75 that time. James Harrison.
I'm telling you, this defensive team for the Bruins is impressive. They've played really well.
If I was going to give a player to a group, you know, I was talking about the coverage team on kick return, but this defense has done a great job of getting to the quarterback, and it brings up a fourth down, and the Crabbers going for it. They have to, what it looks like, about 12.
Got to get to the 14, inside the 14. We got an equipment problem here as Campbell having difficulty, it looks like, with his chin strap. Fourth quarter brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten. They conveniently are located at the Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of the new facility, please stop by or call them at 827-4670. Campbell snowed under, and that ball will once again go over to the Bruins on the defense.
And that's number 36 that time for the Crabbers. And that's DeLance Stiles.
For the Bruins?
For the Bruins, yeah. Not for the Crabbers, for the Bruins.
Watch this. I mean, they just came, and he came around that end. Excellent job on defense. That's the third time that they've held the Crabbers on fourth down. Once again, however, you got to put points on the board. You can't win by just stopping the other team. Not when they have 21 already. I know Tracy's got that one all figured out. They're trying to. They've got a pass completion and a flag down in the area where you would see the holding call.
Yeah.
That's the call. So the Bruins cutting down on the turnovers, done a real good job tonight on that, and their defense has just been outstanding, but they keep hurting themselves on offense. And let's give credit. the Hampton defense has done an excellent job too.
Yes, they have.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Bethel's going to call a timeout here with 10:19 remaining in the fourth quarter.
That's Creighton Incremenius going out there to talk to the team, Tim, offensive line coach. Let's quit holding, fellas.
Let me give you one last shot at this. The Bethel High School cheerleading squad has achieved many things in recent years. They're the 4-time district champions, 2-time regional champs, and they were 3rd in the state in 1999. Well, to make this a little less lengthy, the bottom line here is 7 of these cheerleaders were chosen All-Americans that are going to go to Honolulu for the Pro Bowl game in February. They need some help financially to go there, and they'd appreciate it if you would contribute to their cause, because some of them won't be able to go if they can't get the funding. You can send those donations to Bethel High School, care of the All-American Fund, and I know they'll appreciate that support.
No, they most certainly will. And you got a pat on the back for saying that. And again, I don't want fans to overlook next Friday, September 29th, we're going to have Phoebus hosting.
No,
I'm sorry, the 22nd, we're going to have Phoebus hosting Heritage Hurricanes.
Right here, next Friday night, 7:30. Come on out, support your favorite team. Pass, same one they completed a few moments ago, only this time no penalty flag. That was completed to Brian Haygood. Short gain, picked up about 7, I guess, but they had a long ways to go with that previous penalty. So now it's 2nd down and about 16 for the Bruins. Need to get to the 41 for the first down.
Well, they got 2 downs to do it.
Lyles had plenty of time, found Haygood again, picks up about 8, but it'll bring up 3rd down.
And that's great, because another 8 will give you your first down, but you notice how the receivers are coming back to the ball, are breaking away from the defensive man.
Give some credit to the offensive line for the Bruins as well. They've done a much better job of protecting for Lyles here in the 3rd and 4th quarter. 3rd down and about 7. Crucial down. The Bruins have to get a score on this drive to have any chance. We have hit the 9-minute mark in the 4th quarter. Flag down, that's going to be holding, and it will probably be declined because they were able to stop Lyles well short of the first down. In fact, he didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'm not sure who got the hold was on, but it looked like number 12, Nolan Cutler, was trying to get around the outside, and I don't know if he's the one that was being held or not. But
we have holding on the offense, refused, 4th down.
Never mind. I thought it was going to be 9 yards. 9 penalties.
All right, so as I thought they might, they've refused the penalty. Brings up 4th down and 8. And I've talked about how well the offensive line is protecting for Lyles. And, of course, unfortunately, there's a borderline calls once in a while that you don't get called for, and then sometimes you do. And the holding calls have hurt the Bruins on this possession.
Yeah, they really have.
So Lyles will have to kick. He's done a great job kicking. This one is fielded by Campbell at the 36, and Campbell will go nowhere.
He just couldn't get his footing, Tim. He started to take a step, and his foot slipped, and by the time he got himself upright, there were about 4 Bruins saying, "You're not going any further." Watch the replay on the punt.
28 yards on the punt with no return. In fact, lost a yard. Fielded at the 46.
Watch him slip right there, see? And again, special team coverage on punts. Excellent for the Bruins tonight.
So the Crabbers, with a 21-point lead and 8:41 left in the 4th quarter, will have the ball at their 35-yard line. Crabbers have shown a great number of diverse options tonight for their running attack. 44, 9, 8, 7,
hike,
33, hike. Right up the middle, a quick hitter almost went for big yardage. That was Darylyn Fenner, number 44. He picked up about 8 yards on that play. Second and a pair.
Well, you do that to make the Bruins think about rushing the passer, and you make them hesitate a second, gives you a little more time, and of course you break one of those things. The linebackers filling the gaps, and all of a sudden, boom, somebody goes shooting by them.
Out of the shotgun. And we've got a flag for delay. So that's at least the second time, might have been the third time that they've been called for that tonight.
Ball. Delay on the offense, 5 yards. Remains second down.
Again, we appreciate John Thompson, the referee, using the mic tonight to let you at home hear the calls, and he does an excellent job. Concise, to the point. Second down and about 6.
It's second and 7. It's a very short set.
Campbell. And Campbell will get to about the 42-yard line, picks up about 3. Crabbers need to get to the 45, need to cross the 45 for a first down. It'll be third down and a couple.
There was Lorenzo Perry, number 35. First time we've called his name tonight. Doesn't mean he hasn't been in the action, but he got solo tackle that time.
Let's hope this fourth quarter zooms along too. I have a hankering for some fried chicken and some potato wedges tonight. I think I might just bring some home to my wife, who's not been feeling well the last week.
I'm glad to hear that. Sorry to hear that. I mean,
glad to hear that.
No, I'm glad to hear you're going to take something to her.
She's going to have a upper GI done on Monday. She's been having some problems with her acid reflux, so I'm hopeful that's going to be fixed pretty soon. She's not been doing well the last couple of weeks.
Well, you know, you stop and look at who she's got to put up with.
That would cause you to have acid on anything.
Yeah, you really get acid reflux.
Penalty flag just got tossed on a 4th down and a foot. And I'm not sure what's that one. We're definitely going to need John Thompson to tell us what that one was about, because there was no one at the line of scrimmage, unsportsmanlike against Hampton. So somebody must have.
No, it's against
okay.
For both of them.
No, I don't think. I think he just pointed in the wrong direction.
Okay, we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the home team bench, 15 yards, first down.
On the bench.
Somebody expressed a disappointment in the way the officiating's gone tonight. Wouldn't even speculate who did it, but in any event, that
makes no difference. It's the head coach is the one that gets it,
and that makes the 4th and 1 a total moot point, as that will give Hampton a first down. And with 6:40 remaining in the fourth quarter, they can just keep running the ball now and wear this clock out, and I can get up to zooms. Campbell on the option is tripped up. Nice defensive play by number 4 for the Bruins. That is Asa Cook.
Well, the pitch man is there.
Picked up a couple, Campbell did. Second and about 8.
Campbell's 14 rushes for 11 yards.
You might have been able to hear that, but Bob was telling me Campbell
I could hear him.
with the 14 carries for 11 yards. So you got to factor in those sacks when you figure up his running yardage, and this will be another one as he is stormed over.
That play just did not look good from the onset.
I think that one was doomed from the beginning. It didn't look like they were in sync on that one. Watch this. You're going to see Campbell. He looks like he's uncertain as to what he's supposed to do. And in this game, he who hesitates is sacked.
And he who hesitates meets Brian Jordan.
Okay.
Brian Jordan on one side and Justin Wood on the other side.
A little more than 5 minutes left in this one. Hampton is accomplishing something even with the sacks and the penalties. The clock is still running, and now it'll stop because they took too much time again. That's at least the third, and I think maybe the fourth delay of game. It's not so crucial now. They've been penalized 8 times for 55 yards, but it doesn't make a lot of difference in a game you're ahead 21-0. But these things you need to iron out before you get to a close game, if there is one, down the road.
Okay.
Just can't give up 5 yards.
No.
Play action. Campbell wants to throw, and he's got a man deep. Williams can't hold on to it. Jimmy Williams was there, but couldn't haul it in. And that'll bring up a 4th down for Hampton.
He almost looked for Hampton going punt formation this time.
Watch your replay.
Good protection this time. Had plenty of time to step up and make the throw.
And it was on the money. And that was not a bad throw. Again, Campbell has been very accurate. I think only once or twice has he thrown a poor pass.
Hampton hasn't punted all night.
And Bob has just told me, and perhaps you as well, that Hampton hasn't punted once, and that'll be another delay of game.
Well, no, they did punt once. Didn't Campbell punt one time? I believe he did.
I think he did punt. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. He did punt one.
What do you know on the stat sheet?
Bob says, look at this.
When you look at the stat sheet, you'll see, oh, yes, he did. Amazing things happen.
I think Tina wrote that in when Bob wasn't looking. That's what it was. Tina wrote that in when you weren't looking, Bob. You look at the monitor a lot.
In fact, we're looking at it right now.
That's right. We don't see you in it.
Well, that's Tim. He can't read. He hadn't got his glasses.
Well, I don't look at that. It wasn't my stat sheet. It was Bob's stat sheet that was telling me that they hadn't punted all night.
Well, Scotty's on your case. You know why? I've just figured out why. You keep talking about all this good food at Zooms, and he's getting hungry and he gets grouchy. You suppose that's it?
I'm not going to comment. I'm not getting into this. We got.
There you go. Start taking care of the guy. We got enough.
Bob has just informed me that Campbell has 2 punts for a 32.5 yard average. But this one was a penalty against the Crabbers, and
they're going to punt it again?
No, they're going to decline the penalty and take the ball.
Okay.
And a nice gust of wind has just come up.
Oh, yeah, the front come in or something. Or the back. Was that the front or the back?
Nice breeze. Okay. It's comfortably cool all evening, and it looks like there might, well, there's a mass exodus that might just have to do with the fact that there's only 4:38 left in the 4th quarter. Bruins have the ball, 1st down. Lyle throws incomplete. Okay, and a late flag comes down. I think might have gotten roughing the passer. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the conclusion of tonight's game after this brief timeout. Ten penalties for 75 yards against the Crabbers as we're back here at Darling Stadium. 34-yard line is where the Bruins are with a 1st and 10. 4:32 left in the 4th quarter. Lyles has time and throws incomplete off the hands of the receiver. That was a good-looking pass, but Spate couldn't hold on to it. No. What happened, by the way, that they got the 1st down is there was a roughing the passer call when we went to a break.
That was Nolan Cutler, number 12, putting pressure on Lyles as he stepped up and threw the pass. Tim, that wind has really picked up. It's going from left to right.
Into our faces, in essence,
and
right across the field.
That might affect the throwing of Lyles a little bit. But he's got it a little bit to his back.
You can feel that cold front just march through here. Supposed to only be 70 degrees on Saturday. I can
well, it's
going
to get down into the low 60s tonight.
50, they said.
Is that right? 50?
Yeah, 50.
That's
Open window time.
Yeah, we have encroachment against one of the Crabbers, got in the neutral zone.
We have a dead ball, encroachment on the defense. 5 yards, remains second down.
All right, we're going to have to do our players of the game thing here pretty quickly.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough.
It really is.
You want to pick one of the teams to pick for, since you and I probably won't agree on the players.
Okay, I'll pick for the Bruins.
Okay, and I'll do it. No, there goes our. Speaking of the stat sheet, Bob's just flew out the window. You would not believe the breeze, folks. If you weren't at the stadium to see this, there's a 45 mile an hour breeze just blowing everything right.
A 45 mile an hour front just came through.
Doing about 50. Bob says, enough of this. He's closed the window now. We're getting all of it.
Yeah, wasn't that nice of him?
All right, back to the game at hand. Third down. What you got on the screen, Scotty? I don't see anything. Third down and 4. And this will be, Lyles will be sacked.
That's 61 for the Crabbers, Tim. Chris Green.
Just trying to follow his direction, right?
All right.
All right, here's your replay.
Tim, I'm going with Josh Lyles for the Bruins. Done a real good job tonight. I think he's thrown the ball excellent. I'm going to let you pick one for the Crabbers.
Well, thanks.
Well, it was.
No, I know.
It wasn't either way, but now he's got the wind behind him, punting the ball.
So Lyles now will have to kick it. And this is a boomer. Drives Campbell all the way back inside the 25. He picks it up. And did he go down? No. Now the ball comes loose. And the Bruins have picked it up. And it'll be their ball at the 12-yard line. So Campbell coughs it up. And the Bruins, with 2:54 remaining, have a chance to get on the scoreboard before this one's over with.
Campbell slipped and everything. Really didn't have a hold of that ball real good when he got hit.
I'm gonna make it unanimous here with the quarterbacks tonight. I'm gonna go with Carlos Campbell as you watch the replay here, and I'm going with him for many reasons, and not the least of which is coming in here and playing quarterback and doing an excellent job. Watch this. Yeah, this will not be one of the reasons he's chosen for the player of the game, but he was trying to do everything he could, and then the ball just got punched out of his hands, and the Bruins recover for a first down at the 12-yard line.
Well, that front coming through just took that ball right over his head.
Oh, you would not believe how that ball elevated. Lyles with some running room. He's down to the 6, and he's horse-collared there.
That was Darylyn Fenner, number 44, making the initial stop.
Now the Bruins can get a first down without scoring because they started at the 12. They've marked him at the 6. You see the award-winning cheerleaders. Here's your replay. Lyles taken down by number 44, Fenner.
Ananias Boyd trying to get outside, Tim.
Can't do it. And
little
he's
tough.
Down to about the 4. Brings up third down and about 2.
That wasn't a bad call. You would think that they're thinking the Bruins are going to pass the ball.
Third and 2.
Third and 2. It sure, that's what it says.
By golly.
That's a long 2.
Don't get into that. Minute 42, and the clock is moving. And we've got penalty flags before that one got underway.
Yes.
Illegal procedure.
Yep, that kills you. You're down there third and a long 2.
That's going to be third and a long 7.
We have a dead ball.
Third and
false
long
start
7
on the offense. 5 yards, third down. We have a green timeout.
A green timeout, the man said. All right, Tim, I got my player of the game picked. Who you going with the Crabbers tonight?
I went with Carlos Campbell because of his overall play. He's done an excellent job of directing the team tonight, and just done an excellent job. I'm very impressed, quite frankly, with his throwing ability. Other than a couple of passes, he threw the ball well. He could have had a lot more completions had his receivers held on to a couple of those.
Right, and we want to thank Engraving Inc. out at Tab Square. Dave Buckwalter's the owner out there, and Islander Sporting Goods in Pocosin, and John Roberts out there for allowing us to recognize the players of games tonight, Carlos Campbell and Josh Lyles, with a plaque and a shirt.
If we don't get blown out of the press box before this one's over. Yeah, you can see Old Glory there just being whipped around by this wind. Penalties tonight, 20 different penalties called for 170 yards, and those were the penalties that were accepted.
There was no same penalties. They were all different.
All different.
Okay.
I'm going to have to smack you before we're through. All right, third down. Need to get to the 2, and Lyles will be sacked. Mac Jones does the job in the backfield.
Mac came out of is he coming from a defensive end position or a linebacker? I think he's coming from the linebacker. That's right.
Sacked at the 15. We'll watch it again.
Well, we got to see the end of it, but Josh Lyles fell it.
Pancake. We'll show you the whole thing here. We've got time. Here it is. From the ground level. And that's Jones is going to come right untouched. Never got a hand on him. All right, fourth down. Now, you know these Crabbers want to keep this unscored upon streak going.
Yeah,
we've got
delay.
flags, but delay of the game. That's been the penalty du jour has been
the penalty du jour.
Well, it's the most frequently called one tonight. Bob just told me, he says the
Delay
referees
game
are
on the
delaying
offense.
the game.
Fourth down,
They're
5
the
yards.
one. Okay.
All right, now it makes it a little more difficult. They've backed them up to the 19-yard line, but it is fourth down. 56, started to say 55, 56 seconds on the clock. Last gasp here, but I started
you
to say.
could have said one more than 55.
That's one more than 55. I could have done it. But you know the Crabbers want to keep their unscored upon streak intact, and they've got a flag down, and this one's just in the corner of the end zone where someone was supposed to be and no one was. And if the flag is against the Bruins, needless to say, the Crabbers will just refuse it. Got a player down for the Crabbers also.
Yeah, is that Stephen Lee, number 61?
I believe that is 61. Yeah, he's not getting up right away. Watch your replay here. And I don't know whether the receiver just broke the route off or what, but penalty is declined, as we suspected it would be if it was against the Bruins. So the Crabbers can just run this clock out. Basically, the Bruins with just one timeout remaining and 49 seconds left. So the two quarterbacks get our players of the game, and not just for being their quarterbacks. They do a lot of other things as well. But Josh Lyles for the Bruins and Carlos Campbell for the Hampton Crabbers. Again, we remind you, next Friday night, 7:30, Heritage comes to town to visit the Phoebus Phantoms. And that should be a good one. I'd like to see a full house for that one. That would be the way to do it. Campbell keeps.
Well, I don't think he meant to keep Tim. I think there was a bobble on the center exchange, and just a smart move. The timing was off. Quit trying to hand the ball off and just follow your blockers, and that's exactly what he did. Picked up almost a little over 5.
Interesting.
A short 4.
The temperature change went from comfortable to I wish I'd brought a jacket.
Yeah.
Amazing the difference. We talked about the shirt sleeve crowd. Those people with the light windbreakers have broken them out.
Those that don't have them are got their hands in their pocket and are hunched up and they're leaving.
First real sign of fall. Just 5 seconds left, and the Crabbers will just run the clock out. Campbell will keep up the middle, and that will do it. So the Crabbers have played 3 games. They have been unscored upon in all 3. And obviously they are 3-0 after their first 3 contests. Again, we want to thank Zooms for being our corporate sponsor, along with, in part, Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten. We want to thank our corporate sponsors for their help, and want to thank our crew for a great job as always. The final score, Hampton 21 and Bethel nothing. For Bob Henson, Bob Killen, and the entire Channel 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
knees in. Arms. Order. Arms. That's it. Big point up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't forget we're coming over here.
Where do we go?